They say real men don't talk. I say they just haven't been asked the right questions. This ain't about trends. It's about truth, about faith that don't fold, love that costs something, and manhood that still means something. I'm not here to argue. I'm here to build. This is the Always Up Podcast, Season 2, Too Real to Win. For the men still trying to love right in a world that loves wrong. Dre didn't call it a rebound. Nobody ever does. He called it moving forward. New energy, new face, new laugh in the passenger seat. Same city, different soundtrack. Friends said he looked better, lighter, like someone who finally got some sleep. Nothing convinces people you're okay faster than a witness. And for a while, it felt true. The nights were full again. The silence stopped talking back. The mirror stopped asking questions. He told himself this was growth, because pain doesn't look like pain when it's distracted. He wasn't running. He was open. He wasn't avoiding anything. He just knew what he wanted now. Funny how clarity always shows up right when discomfort starts asking for patience. The past didn't disappear. It just stopped knocking because someone else was in the doorway. That's the part nobody warns you about. How quickly relief can dress itself up as healing. How fast movement can feel like progress when stillness feels too honest. This is where the lie begins. Not with sex, not with love, not even with the other person. It starts with the belief that feeling better means you're better. And once you believe that you don't slow down, you speed up. And Dre didn't slow down. He told himself momentum was healing. And that's where the lie first felt true. Dre didn't invent this move. He learned it. We live in a culture that treats stillness like failure. If you pause too long, people assume something's wrong with you. So movement gets praised, speed gets confused for strength, replacement gets labeled growth. Nobody asks if you healed. They just ask if you're seeing someone new. Because in this world, pain is only acceptable if you're actively distracting from it. Silence makes people uncomfortable, especially when it's honest. So we built systems that keep you moving, scrolling, swiping, talking, touching, not because they want you healed, but because healed people don't stay engaged. The rebound didn't become popular because it works. It became popular because it's efficient. You don't have to explain anything. You don't have to sit with anything. You just keep going. And society claps. Friends don't say, "Did you feel it yet?" They say, "Good for you." Nobody claps for sitting still. Nobody asks what you avoided. They just notice that you look busy again, because distraction passes as recovery when nobody wants to sit with the truth. This isn't about weakness. It's about incentives. We reward people who move on fast. We side-eye people who slow down, and we call it resilience. So the rebound doesn't feel like a lie. It feels like compliance. Dre didn't run. He followed the script, and the script works at first. The rebound works because novelty is loud. New attention feels like closure. New bodies feel like progress. New energy feels like proof. But relief isn't resolution. It's anesthesia. You don't stop hurting. You stop feeling where it hurts. The brain loves replacement. It confuses distraction for repair. Pain fades faster when someone else is looking at you. Validation is quick. Honesty is slow. So the rebound feels real because it silences questions, not answers them. You're not healed. You're occupied. Busy is the most popular form of denial. You didn't process the loss. You buffered it. That's why rebounds feel honest. They don't lie to you. They just skip the part where truth asks you to sit down. Here's the part nobody says out loud. If it really worked, you wouldn't need to keep doing it, because healing ends cycles. Relief repeats them. The rebound doesn't solve the wound. It reschedules it. And every time you avoid the stillness gets louder. That's not morality. That's mechanics. And Dre felt that part too. He just didn't stop long enough to hear it yet. Dre sat across from her, and everything looked fine. The lighting was right. The timing made sense. The chemistry showed up on cue. They laughed easily, touched casually, spoke in highlights. No one asked about before. No one mentioned names. No one slowed the moment down long enough for truth to clear his throat. They weren't lying. They were cooperating, both fresh, both ready, both tired of explaining what hurt. So they stayed in the present, because the present didn't ask questions. Silence showed up, and neither of them trusted it. They filled it with jokes, with plans, with bodies close enough to confuse warmth for connection. Nothing felt wrong. That was the problem. Two people can want company and still be lonely together. Two people can share a bed and avoid the same thought from opposite sides. Dre looked at her and felt relief. Not peace. Relief. Because relief doesn't require honesty. It just requires someone else to be there. And she felt it too. That gentle agreement to not look backward. Not tonight. Not yet. This wasn't love. It wasn't a mistake either. It was two people resting in the space between pain and truth. And that space feels safe right up until it doesn't. The reset isn't about being alone. It's about being honest without outsourcing the discomfort. Dre didn't need space. He needed truth. Not the dramatic kind. Not the speech. Just the quiet admission that relief had been doing the talking. Because relief is polite. It doesn't argue. It doesn't ask follow-up questions. Relief says, "This is fine." Honesty says, "Stay." Relief is rented. Honesty is owned. And stay is harder. Stay means sitting in the silence long enough to hear what it's been holding. Not to fix it, not to analyze it, just to let it finish its sentence. The reset isn't discipline. It's restraint with self-respect. It's choosing not to move just because you can. It's realizing that saying no can be more masculine than chasing yes. Dre didn't need another person to prove he was okay. He needed the courage to stop auditioning for relief and tell himself the truth without an audience. That's the reset. Not withdrawal, not isolation, just honesty without witnesses. Dre didn't collapse. Nothing dramatic happened. No breakdown. No moment where the room went silent and the truth kicked the door in. That's how avoidance survives. It doesn't explode. It hums. Life kept moving. Texts still came in. Nights were still full, but something underneath him stayed unfinished. Because when you don't sit with the truth, you don't escape it. You delay it, and delayed pain doesn't disappear. It just waits for a different costume. Sometimes it shows up as anger, sometimes as distance, sometimes as choosing people who feel familiar for reasons you can't explain. Dre thought he moved on. What he really did was carry something forward without naming it. And whatever you don't name ends up choosing for you. That's the quiet danger of the rebound. Not that it feels good, but that it feels good enough to keep you from asking harder questions. Questions like, why does relief feel safer than peace? Why does distraction feel easier than stillness? Why does familiarity keep showing up even when you swear you want something different? Dre hasn't answered those yet, and neither have a lot of people, because the truth is the rebound doesn't end the story. It just passes the weight to the next chapter. The rebound isn't chaos. It's control. It doesn't ruin you. It preserves you just enough to keep you moving without ever stopping to feel. That's the trick. Unfinished pain doesn't vanish. It transfers, quietly, politely, into the next connection that feels safe enough to carry it. So the story doesn't end with Dre. It continues with whoever meets him next. Not with drama, with strength, not with noise, with patience. Because when unhealed men keep moving, they don't find villains. They find women strong enough to absorb what they never named. And that's where this goes. Next episode, episode 28, The Broken Queen. When resilience becomes the hiding place for damage that was never hers. Thanks for listening. If this episode hit home, share it with somebody who needs to hear it. This season, Too Real to Win, is for the men still trying to love right in a world that loves wrong. No clout, no gimmicks, just truth. I'm Brian B. Turner, and this is the Always Up podcast. Until next time, stay focused, stay faithful, and always up.